Mic check. Oh no, I'm gonna do my check this one out. We're waiting on 118. Hopefully, after I restarted my little laptop here, I had one of them updates. And I thought I didn't have to restart the computer. Hopefully after I restarted it, everything will be fine. Let me see if I can hear myself. Oh yes, I hear it. Okay, let me send him another invite. Hope he ain't go to bed on me. Be a little patient. I'm trying to send him the other invite right now. He'll be tuning right on in my channel. In the meanwhile, I'm trying to see if there's somebody. Golly, I got the many open ones. Okay, let me try it again. I'm trying to see if there's somebody. Golly, I got the many open ones. Let me hit him with another invite. Might have fell asleep all these tries. Gmail. Trying to figure this on out. See if this will work better this way. $118, he'll be coming on in real soon. Oh, there ain't nobody here anyway. Let me send him another invite. Y'all can come on up in here and leave a little comment or something. Everybody just like to peek on them without even saying what up. I don't bite. The goat don't bite. Oh, I hope so too. You get the link? I got the chat room up. It's an open panel so they can all come. Or you could just do like I forgot that girl name. You could just share the link with them. Tell me something good.
Tell you something good? We alive.
Oh, and I can hear you. That, that
Oh
that was crazy. But you know what? I wasn't even thinking. Everybody already knows that when you do a new update or something, you have to, reset your computer. Me, I was like, oh, it's only I think it was Adobe. I don't know what it was because I didn't cut this on in like 2 days or 3 days. I can't even remember the last time. I think the last time I cut it on, I was with you. A lot of the stuff I be doing together with my tablet, and but I don't go online with my laptop all the time. I just make my little videos, then I move it to my thing and upload it on my tablet.
damn.
I hope you ain't nowhere near Florida.
Oh no, I'm in Watts. I'm a whole other side of the country. Whole other side.
Yeah,
I seen a little tornado and stuff.
but if I forgot that girl name, Melon something. I think she's a helicopter or something, or a plane. Begin with an M. Anyway, I
Yeah,
couldn't.
she's a pilot.
Yeah. Anyway, she just sent the links on out the last time because I didn't know who the people were. So if you know
Mhm.
how to do that, you could just go ahead and do that. I trust you.
I'm on
But
my phone. That'd be an experiment. I
oh yeah.
think I did it before, but it still be an experiment because I had somebody who was sitting here with me telling me how to do it.
Oh
Like I don't even uh, like I just found out how to send the links individually on Facebook yesterday.
oh
So every time when I be sharing,
y-
one of the homies say, "What the fuck is this, cuz?" um, so it's
but
like it's just now I can send it out to people. I never had a chance to get friends and family on. A lot of times the conversation they wouldn't. So it's like so now I'm just sending it out individually though.
yeah. But what I was saying is, I sent it to your email. That means you could just forward the email to whoever it is.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not computer savvy, yo. I didn't know I had a.
Oh,
I got on YouTube. I believe in it was like 012. I didn't know I had a channel until probably like 5 months ago. That's when I put my little two videos up. I didn't know nothing about live streaming until about like shit. Now probably like 9 months. I didn't know that you can press a button and be live in your house. I thought they was like had little booths or something like. Man, I didn't know it was this easy. So it's all just coming to me how to do this and do that. I don't have no idea. I'm learning as I go
yeah, I'm glad we got this finally situated though. You don't know how aggravating it was. And then it dawned on
on.
me, I said, I did 2 live streams and it still ain't working. Something is wrong here. Then I said, oh, that freaking update. No matter what, if I would have kept on doing it without the update, I still probably wouldn't been able to hear. Yeah, these new computers are something else now.
I had me a MacBook. When was that? It was like it's 010. Shit,
Oh,
ever since then, I want something, but it has to be something like that. I can't go. And MacBook is a motherfucker.
you got any kids or not?
Yeah, I got a 7-year-old boy.
Oh, um, you remember Lex
Who?
Lex Vortex, the crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh-huh.
guess what? On his channel today, he had finished the application, and I'm telling you, I was impressed. I was highly impressed. But then when they had a little like surprise guest, well, not a surprise guest, but somebody that was working behind the scenes with him and I didn't even know. And that's how it explains how everything works so good and everything. Guess what it was? Kansu. He's the man behind the scenes with him. I'm telling you that Lakeisha app, I'm telling you it works good. It's better because it's like it's like no other application. You 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 got so many different options you can do with your own kid, and it connects with everybody else who has it. If you get in contact with your kids, right, and if you got to set on up for if they don't get contact you back within the 10-minute time limit, wherever she's at, it sends an automatic alert to the police and to everybody else who's in the community as well who has the same application. Isn't that amazing?
Like an Amber Alert.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different because it yeah, it's just like the Amber Alert, but it got like tracking devices on the phone
Oh, a
itself.
GPS. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you could tell exactly where the person is at. But but he did say they got to work on a few things, but they do got it up and running. The only thing he said was it leaves the GPS don't work all the time. It just leaves from the last time you was on it. But the person can call and everything. You know what I mean on it. You can call your child. It's a community, and then it's called community appearance. I mean, I was impressed. I was impressed the way the application ran.
Hmm. Nowadays, these phones, every time you do an app, it's going to say a location or this or that. Like, damn.
Yeah, I know. I don't. That's what I don't like about these applications. Um, but I don't. That's why mine's probably don't be working on my phone too much because I just say yeah just to get whatever I want downloaded. Then when I turn my GPS on off, the application will act all goofy. Oh, shout out to the chat room. It's open night. You can discuss whatever you want, and want to talk about. Don't get mad, Ed. If you want to talk about the round world, you can do that too. I gotta mess with Ed while he's up here.
I'm really trying to get. Well, let me send him a message, tell him to jump. This is one of my homies. Like, a lot of people, they know I'm on YouTube, but they don't know what I say on YouTube. And I'm trying to have a couple of friends jump on. We might just be here clowning, but I want certain my side to know what I be doing or what I be saying, and that's what I'm going for right now. But I'm gonna send this message to the homie, see if he gonna jump on.
Oh, see, do you, well, you know my email, right? What you can do? Do you know how to share videos on YouTube or no?
That is this right here. It's the little yeah. Okay, okay. Let me see. Oh, I sent him the link. So like on the messenger, he'll go to it and he probably watching.
Okay. I thought you wanted him up on the panel.
Let me see.
You can send him the link of. Oh, you don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Do you know how to do back chat,
Yeah,
or do you just want to say it? If you give me his email, I could just send it directly to him.
I don't even know if it's. I don't know his email.
A lot of people don't want their email out in public. That's why I was gonna say put it in the back chat. But you can share this video on your phone.
That's what I did. I shared the link to your channel. Um. Oh, that's the old one. That's why he's saying that. That didn't go through.
Oh, he watching the wrong one. Let me
Yeah.
start deleting those other ones.
Let me see.
Live one more time stays up. Let me delete those other ones. Because I don't want people thinking, oh, he's still testing. 3 months later, he's still testing. He ain't gonna never get that right.
Yeah, but we're never gonna come through. How do I do
Hold
that?
on. I'm signing on this other device.
What was that? Uh-oh.
So I'm gonna try and wait before I have you really go on in for your people to get here, that you send the link on out so they can hear you going in before I start asking you a few questions, because I don't want you to have to repeat yourself.
Um, you go ahead. It don't matter.
Um, the ooh wee one didn't work, right? I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm supposed to delete.
The one more time. That's the one we on.
Okay, let me delete the ooh wee. Or did you want the ooh wee left up on there? I couldn't hear you. What did you say? Anything you want it left up there or not?
Oh, it don't matter. You can put whatever
Well,
you
I'll
want.
just leave it then. I'll check it on out later. It's only 15 minutes. Probably just us just talking about how we're trying to get it going.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was yeah. It was. You couldn't hear me, and that's all that was.
Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on meteorites?
Meteorites, comets. It's something is falling. Um, it is a very hot object. Uh, it's a very fast object. The one in Russia, the light the first time I seen it, it was like, what the fuck was that? Um, all the different angles showed it coming at a crazy at a 45-degree angle. It's never gonna come straight down. It's always gonna come that same way. Um, just the power, all it wasn't just windows. Structures was compromised. Um, that was a very powerful event. And to say that um, if these things are mainstream flat Earth will say this is part of the firmament falling, and to say that you have to prove the
Hold up.
firmament.
Hold up. Can you explain the firmament? That's like a imaginary dome they talking about, right? That's around the earth.
To them, is nothing is imaginary. And
I mean, I shouldn't have used those words. Good thing
let
they're
me
not in
say this.
here.
Let me say this. A lot of the things I'm gonna say about these things, I'm gonna say mainstream flat Earth because truly, I really don't believe in it. I used to push these things in debates because people didn't act like they know what they're talking about. I have a certain way of explaining things or debating things. So, um, when you ask certain questions, if I don't say mainstream flat Earth, it's kind of is me. But when I say mainstream flat Earth, it's what they will tell you. Um, the firmament is in the Bible. Um, it's I consider the firmament just the atmosphere. I don't consider it as a solid object. Um, and inside the firmament is the sun and the moon. So imagine the
And what about meteors and stars? Are they inside the firmament or no?
no. Um, and once again, mainstream flat Earth would say most of the stars are kind of holographic. Um, they will say they're not solid objects at all. When you actually look at stars on telescopes, it's lights flashing, literally. There is no picture of something of a star you can get like that. Now the planets you can get composites. It will be a big telescope. You will punch the coordinates in. It will move up and it will stay there. Every now and then, some of them you'll see them move over, following the star or planet. Well, really planet, because you're not going to get an image of a star. And it will show you a picture of, let's say, 4 or 5 very vague, just to show you a shape, and then they'll show you a composite, probably of 100 different pictures piled onto each other, and it will show you the shape of Venus, of Saturn with the rings, stuff like that. But for me, I do believe in space. I just don't believe how they represent space. Um, I do believe that, in a sense, we can leave, but where will we go? I do believe the moon and the sun is near us. So when you think of this, well, when I think of this, a lot of people can't think of what I think. And when I'm talking about this, I can't think of a flat earth. Everything is still a ball in my mind. Every single thing. Um, I have to look at things around the room. Like I'm looking at the fan to get a good picture of a representation of what I'm talking about. So it's kind of difficult at times if I'm not debating to explain. So I'm kind of gonna be kind of like all over the place. But the stars, and I just believe that they are out there. They're not far like they say they are, and they're not big like they say they are. And when it comes down to it, a lot of the things that Flat Earth will try to give you to replace is just a beautiful thought. It's just, a beautiful imagination that can comfort you because you don't know. Um,
See, you just sat right there and you practically agreed with me, even though you still think it's flat and I still think it's a globe. Them dudes now, because some of them remember me from like, usually I go over there and I stay for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then I'll come back like 6 months or 5 months. Like I think that's where I seen you at over there on Dread Channel, like about 9 months ago or whatever, or whenever you was on over there. It was a long time ago before he had all his subs. Anyway, what I noticed about them guys is you said the exact same thing, except for I didn't just say what they think. I tried to make it sound fancy. I said they don't have no scientific facts, and all flat Earth is a big conspiracy theory. It ain't nothing but a theory. You don't have you. And they said they tried to call me a troll because they said I haven't been changed yet. I said the only thing you showed me was a map with a little white ring on there. And then you show me, they get mad when I call them pretty ice cliffs, but those big icebergs or whatever that they say goes around the whole edge
the
of
ice
the
wall.
earth. Yeah. And then the other proof they got is some guy diary that supposedly did the little journey, a diary. That's all they got for proof.
Captain Cook, and it's another known captain that tried to reach anywhere inland to get to Antarctica. And a lot of these things, like Richard Burr, you got to think of the time period. Um, he's a guy that was explorer. You can look him up. He's the Indiana Jones of the military. He's the guy that went here, went there, did this and did that. He supposedly flew a plane went over Antarctica and found land the size of America. Now, this is in after World War II, or around that time period. So imagine a plane flying over Antarctica and then find a land that's the size of America. Now, no matter how high you get, if you're not in space, you're not going to see all of America. You're not going to see half of America. If you're high in the sky and you get to California, you're going to see California. The only time you're going to see past California is about you get middle to or a little bit past middle of California. Now you're seeing past that distance. So for him to say he's seen something the size of America, no. Um, that's one of a strong points that his man said he's seen land. Now I believe that he's seen one of the islands, but to say you've seen something the size of America on a plane, it's snowing, visibility is low. No, but I do believe he found land. I do believe that. But how he represented that land is preposterous. Um, Another thing about the ice wall is there is an Antarctic treaty that doesn't make sense. But in a sense, it makes sense. Now, for all these different countries right after the war to cut off plots of land and say nobody else can come here, we're going to leave this just like how it is. But then nobody can come remotely close to it. The closest you can get to these to Antarctica is the outer islands that they'll take you on trips. And just like if you go to Catalina Island, it's off the coast of California, or Hawaii, you're in America. So to say that you didn't go to Antarctica is a lie. You went to Antarctica, you just went to the outer islands. You didn't go to the mainland. Nobody can go to the mainland. Um, no private entity can go to the mainland. You have to be government sponsored, and it's all for science and science purposes. You can't go there to build bases, which they already did after the fact, to establish security, let's say. You can research there is a nuclear base in the island underground. It will show you how they made it. This is nothing, no secret. It's not no conspiracy. They do show you things they do and reasons why, and it makes sense.
I I
Um,
I agree with that, right? But that's that those areas, like I did a little research because I'm trying to do their things too. Those areas are like just it don't cover the whole perimeter. In other words, um, what to me, those areas that we can't go into, it don't cover the whole where the ice is supposed to be at. It's only certain locations that you're not allowed to go to, and to me, those areas are like Area 51. That's the way I look at them. Like a area. I don't know if you heard of Area 51. They're like Area 51s, but instead of them being, where people know it's Area 51, they just Area 51. Only government can go there too as well. I don't know if you know about heard of
I know,
Area
yeah, this
51.
Nevada Army base. They
Yeah,
do a lot of testing of planes and shit.
yeah. Well, we don't know what they do there. They don't allow nobody there. They can be cloning. We don't know what they're doing there. They could be having um machines to control weather. Who knows? I mean, everybody say they got this machine and that machine to do it, but we
Talk
don't know
about
what
hard.
they got there.
Brought that up. Let's talk about that right now.
I was gonna be my next question. But hold up, before we
Um.
go there, hold up. I
Okay, go ahead.
never answered my meteor question. Do you
Mhm.
think the meteor ever hit Earth?
Yes. There's a in Siberia in the early 19 something, there was a supposed asteroid that hit and blew back trees. You can YouTube this. I'm not YouTube, but Google this. Yeah, they have YouTube on it. That they blew back trees in a circle at great distances. Everything in the area was destroyed, but it was mostly just in like Siberia, it's like cold and forest areas. There's been other like the one in Russia like a couple years ago. Um, these are the ones that are so big that comes in and make the sonic boom, the light, the sound waves. Just like earthquakes here in California, there's 5, 6 earthquakes a day. They're just not so big that you feel them, or they'll be in unpopulated areas. You can go to a lot of places where there's always snow, and if you look on the ground good enough, you'll find black rocks, and they will say those are, things that come from the sky. Now, to try to say these things don't exist, I can't do that. I grew up just like y'all with all these things, and and it just to got to a certain point. I call myself gaining a little bit of knowledge and questioning certain things. Me myself, and a lot of us, we're not rocket scientists. We're not astronauts. My argument is from my understanding of what we live on. I say this a lot when I used to be on Dred's show. I come on YouTube because I feel like there's people on here smarter than me to either tell me what I went wrong, it is a globe, or critique my argument, something is wrong, let's figure this shit out. Throughout this whole time, most of the people I talk to, they tell me, I'm not an idiot. I do understand what I'm saying, so I don't come on here trying to be thinking I'm smarter than what I am or none of that shit. I come on here to ask questions. When we be debating, most of the time I be the one answering the questions. So it's like I don't get nowhere in it. So times like this, I do like to just explain. Go ahead.
Um, because the reason why I asked that because I've been asking them to take that video down that says no meteorite never hit Earth. Like everybody know that I'm a little crystal buff, right?
Say that one more time.
I'm a crystal buff. Like I like crystals. I call it a crystal buff. I don't know, somebody who just enjoy,
Hmm.
crystals. Anyway, there is a crystal that is very, very, very rare and kind of expensive, and it's called moldavite. Moldavite comes from the universe. It was a big giant meteor came through and hit Earth, and when it cooled on off and formed and everything, it formed a crystal, and that crystal is called moldavite. And I even said, if you think I'm lying, only thing you have to do is go Google where moldavite come from. It, it's not nowhere all over the earth. It's from where the where the meteorite impacted at. That's the only place where you can find it at. And see, like I don't really like to talk about crystals and stuff like that because everybody who don't believe in it don't feel like arguing over if it's pseudo or not, right? But to make it real briefly, you know how they say like we're a Superman because he gets his energy from the sun and all of that.
Hmm.
Do you know what the ironic thing is? The crystal is green like kryptonite. I just find that a little funny and amusing that they make a movie and we're supposed to get up and that same crystal, it has different effects on different people. It makes some people like lightheaded, dizzy. Other people it does different things. It says to different people. I just found it kind of strange that it just happened to make kryptonite the same color as moldavite. I just look deeper into little shows than the average person. But that's the only reason why I was wondering if you really thought that something like that had hit the earth. I just wanted to hear another flat earther says that. And every time I tell them go Google moldavite, and then when I see him again, it says, "Did you Google that?" They changed the whole subject for me. They don't want to discuss it. They just want the video on to stay on the. If somebody, if I say something wrong, I don't get mad. I be happy. That's what makes me grow. I like to be critiqued. That means people is paying attention enough to what I'm saying and they like what I'm saying enough to try and critique it or to make me grow. That's what makes me grow. That's what I love about, and then I says, if I wanted to, I'm trying to do it in a respectful way. I'm not making up no videos about it. I'm not doing a moldavite crystal video on it and tell everybody and explain, make a whole video and explain where it came from and all of that. I didn't when he did the stream. I didn't even. I just sat there and listened. I didn't even say, "You're lying." Go look up the crystal moldavite. After he was all done, I just said, "Can y'all take it down? Can y'all take it down? Go Google it." Everyone left a comment, and it's still on. If somebody tell me I made a video and it's wrong, not only will I take the video down before I do, I would give props to who critiqued me because that means I want somebody else to know who is just as wise as me because we're all ain't nobody no master teacher. We're all students as far as I'm concerned. Like like
With
and
people at home that press play and other people press the Google Hangout. We
right.
not, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not, I go from what my understanding is, and I take it from there. And most of my arguments is not, flat Earth. It's space. It's, how we travel in space and the stars around us. Then it ends up, I don't believe it went to the moon. Then it ends up, I start talking about how rockets don't work in space. I don't believe there's satellites in space. And that argument goes down to Earth then because we never took a picture and then we get into curvature. But a lot of that is mainstream flat Earth arguments do be perception and calculating curvature, visualizing things and why you can't see things and what is hindering you and it gets to be understanding and science. A lot of times an argument will go a certain way because they want you to answer the question, and more times than none the argument be bullshit in a way, or it'll be to see if you have an understanding of what we're talking about instead of actually, showing that there is no curve or this or that. And that is needed because a lot of times people get on and they just recite things or read stuff and don't really understand it. So when we get to asking questions and talking, it's like you're not telling me nothing. Like I've been to school just like you did, and it gets frustrating. It's a lot of name calling. It's a lot of you stupid. Where y'all went to school at, and if we can just sit down and just have a simple conversation, a lot of things will go smoother. But people take this personally. It's crazy sometimes. And it's funny. A lot of things that we talk about, we can't prove. It's impossible to prove. And we use big words and try to make people feel stupid to get a point across that both of the shit we talk about is pseudo. Both of the shit we talk about cannot be tested or measured. You can't prove that we go around the sun. We can't prove that the moon goes around us like it does. It's all relative. It's like if we're in the car driving and you looking at staring at you're in a passenger seat, of course. You're staring at the car in front of you. If there's nothing on the outside, trees, you're passing houses, you're passing other cars, How do you know you're moving?
Fact.
You don't. That's what it means by saying it's all relative. You cannot tell. You can't. You're all moving together. Without that outside thing going across, you don't know you're moving. In space, when you look out in space, it's darkness. You don't see nothing. So my argument is how we move in space, and then it falls back to flat Earth. Um, a lot of times in these conversations, it do gets to be over people's head, and motherfuckers is like, I don't want to hear this shit. Um, People like to complicate things, and I like to simplify things. It's not hard to just talk. A lot of times, people want to act like they know so much, but it begins to be a big word match. A lot of times, people be misrepresenting things just to sound smart. More times than none, they're reciting a video they just watched 5 times over and over and over and over and over and over, and then they get on the platform and just start saying like, come on. Um, it's very rare to have a good conversation because my conversation is not telling you the earth is flat. I don't teach the earth is flat. I ask questions on why they say this, why are these calculations this way, why does it look this way, and then why do they say all this totally different. So talking to me, I don't teach flat earth. I don't go around saying the earth is flat because there's mountains. There's things called sea level where the sea is straight, flat. Then there's ground level where it's ground, and then there's where the sea and the ground meet. Now that's above sea level. So to say the earth is flat, it wouldn't be no above sea level. What they saying is we're not curved around as a ball. Flat earth is just something, earth is flat, just to get you in the conversation, so they can have you understand the concepts of what they're getting you. They just want you to think. The biggest thing people say is go to the beach. I live in California. I'm in Los Angeles. You know, I go to the beach all the time. Well, not I used to go to the beach all the time. What's killing me is certain people be like, I remember as a child, I never used to see the curvature. Didn't nobody as no motherfucking child go to the beach and looking for the goddamn curvature. They're looking at wildlife, digging in the dirt, they in the water, with no child looking at no curve, wondering where the curve was. So when you see people saying that shit, they just want to be on TV. Well, I say TV all the time because I'm on my PlayStation. I be looking at through TV, but they want to be on YouTube. The beach. When we say 8 inches per mile squared, what that is the curvature of the Earth. Um, think of it as, you know, the curve of this uh, bottle. So every mile, you will square that mile. A squared number is a number times itself. The square root is just the number that you times. That's all it is. So the square root of 9 would be 3. 3 times 3 is 9. A lot of these math things people be thinking about, it is not hard at all. It is very, very, very simple. It's just how they speak. It seems complicated, but it's not. Clear vision, average person is 3 miles. So that'll be 9. 9 times 8 is 42. 42 inches. 8 inches per mile squared. So that's 42 inches. I mean, 72 inches. You can argue on a flat, literally a flat plane, that you're looking at a 72-inch object at 3 miles. So when you say you can see the curve at the beach, that means you're looking over something. At that distance, 3 miles, you're not looking over anything. You're looking straight across. So to say that you go to the beach and see a downward curve or to see 72 inches when there's waves and all type, when you look in the water, you're seeing the light reflect off the water. From a distance, you're literally seeing the water in a sense um, dry and I ain't even gonna get onto that. So
So
for you to
hold up,
say,
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Pump the brakes a minute. I got a question here.
go
The
ahead.
boat, the boat, the boat. But they're saying, everyone is saying, since it is the bottom of the boat that do the Houdini when it's going over the horizon, then that is proven curvature.
That's a perception argument. From a distance, everything gets smaller to you. Now, on the water, from a distance, you're looking at waves, you're looking at all types of things, and you're seeing that thing get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That's all you're doing. Seeing the object get smaller and smaller because nowadays you can pick up a telescope or the P900 and it's right back, and you're looking at it the whole ship. So either your telescope or the P900 bends light and looks around something, so meaning you're straight, it bends light looking around the curve downward to see this ship, or just the ship just was just out of your vision and now it's back in using something else that's stronger than your own eyes. I go with this, you're looking at something that bringing the ship back to stronger than your own eyes, because light doesn't curve vision like that in an object. It doesn't work like that. So if I can bring something to bring the ship back, then obviously it didn't go over a curve. And the distance of these ships, you should see the back pop up. And nobody ever says that. Think about it. If it goes over a curve, it's straight. And when it goes over a curve, that back piece, it's supposed to pop up and go downward over the curve. We don't see that. You just see the whole object get smaller and smaller and disappears. So there's a couple of things that's supposed to happen. Most of these big ships, you be seeing them big words on the back of it. You should see that go up and go like that. But all you see is just get smaller and smaller and go away. When we say go to the beach and you're looking straight, what you should be doing is looking left and right. You're looking at 2 times the distance and you're looking straight. So the curve at which you're talking about you're supposed to be seeing at the beach is this way, not straight in front of you. Because everybody told go to the beach and look. I'm looking at the beach and I see the curve. You don't see no curve. You're seeing the horizon, and if there was a curve, it's a drop that you're not going to see. You're supposed to be seeing that on the curve going this way. No matter what, if you're on a ball, no matter where you are on a ball, you are the top, period. You're on the top of the ball, period. No matter where you are, you're on the top, and everything falls down to you. Now, 8 inches per mile square is you can stand on somewhere and everything will fall from you, literally, everything. So no matter where you is if, on this planet, you're on the top of the planet. The only difference that makes you not on the top of the planet is something called the magnetic north, where your compass goes to. And that is not the top of the planet. The top of the planet is Canada. There's a tilt, so that's behind Canada. That's why it's called the magnetic north, because the magnetic.
Hold up. You're saying that the Earth is flat and tilted now?
No, I'm giving the description of the Earth as a ball.
Oh.
I'm still, that's what I'm saying. When you're on top of this ball, you're on the top of everything. You're
Right,
on the top, no matter where you is. The only
right.
reason why there is a north is because of the North Pole. And that North Pole is not literally on the top, it's past the top. Canada is the top of the globe. The magnetic pole is past Canada. That's why they say it's a tilt, because it's an axis that it spins on. and that's the middle. And that's not straight. It's like this. Canada is the top of the globe, literally. But since a magnet still goes to this point and we spin off that, that will be considered the north. That little thing right there, people probably be like, what the fuck is he talking about? That is fucking true. Look at a globe. The globe is tilted. And what's on top of that? Canada. And the reason why, because the pole is behind Canada and it gives us a tilt and it spins on that tilt. So, there's a thing called a Lorentz frequency. I don't hear nobody talking about this. I say this all the time.
Say that again. Or what frequency?
Lorentz frequency. Most time when people think of this and they look it up, they're gonna find a wave. They're gonna find music. They're gonna find um, a spiral. Now, the Earth is taking this spiral at a very, very, very slow rate. The whole point of this conversation is the North Pole is on the literally magnetic north. Now, since we at this tilt and we go around and we're spinning and we're going around the sun, that tilt is not going to stay on Polaris, which is the North Pole. We have been through thousands of years in recorded history where that has not moved from Polaris, the North Pole. It's supposed to shift all the way across to another star in 13,000 years. Why is it still Polaris is our right above it? Where they're detecting is called parallax. They have detected none. Parallax is when you're at an angle and you're moving and you come across that other object. Instead of you moving with it, now you're tilting, you can see past it. It's like you're moving like this. Now that object is out your way, you can see past it. That means you're moving around. We're not moving around. Everything is moving around above us because Polaris is supposed to be off. It just a little. It's supposed to be off. Now think about just 2,000 years. It's supposed to be off, but it sets up there perfectly. My whole thing is space. It's the theory of relativity. We do not roll around. We're not a ball that with 24,000 miles of circumference that spins at 1,000 miles an hour with one rotation equals a day. The moon is not 238,000 miles away from us. It does face us at all times. It does not spin around a globe at 2,288 miles an hour when in one rotation will be a month, will be 28 days. The sun is not 93 million miles away from us. The circumference of it is not 862,000 miles, and we do not travel around it 67,000 miles an hour, and one year equals up to 365 days. Plus this, we do not travel around the Milky Way galaxy at 500,000 miles an hour, and the Milky Way galaxy do not travel around the universe at 600 and what is it, 670 million miles an hour. And like I said, we have this tilt, and all these stars, while we doing all these movements, is perfectly centered around us. That is impossible. I just gave you too many movements, too many different rotations, and too many different speeds for this perfectly to be up there every night to the point that we put people birthdays to constellations in the star. Why? Because we know that shit gonna come around every single year. We should not see the same constellations, y'all, if we're traveling around. If we're spinning at an axis and then we're traveling around something, and then that something is traveling around something else, and that something else is traveling around something else, we should not see these same stars. That's the first thing. The first thing that fucked me up.
What you mean we shouldn't be seeing these same stars? You trying to say that the stars are based upon the position of the Earth and the sun and all of that, right? I thought all of them line up together, right? Or no?
No.
Hold up, hold up, hold
Okay,
up.
I'm gonna give you
Uh,
a
say,
time.
say like, for example, I'm Pisces. That means up there in the sky, there is, they line on up and form the little Pisces symbol, whatever that is. And it's like that for all 12 of them. What you mean, no?
After it go through that one cycle, we should never see that cycle again because we're at a tilt and we're spinning.
We see that cycle every year. What do you mean?
Exactly, that's the point. We shouldn't. I'm gonna say it one more time. We're at an axis and we're spinning, and then we're spinning around something, and then that something is spinning around something, and that something is spinning around something. How is it possible that the stars come across us every single year? That is impossible. We should be going through
Listen,
different stars.
yeah, but that's just like saying it's impossible for us to have the winter solstice every single time at every single year at the same thing. The sun does the same thing. We have the
No.
yes, sir, the winter solstice from
Okay.
December 22nd to the 25th. It happens every year, winter solstice.
Yeah. Now, that is now what we're talking about is perception against the I can't even say it so many times. The theory of theoretically. So, what we see is basically something hovering over us for a certain length of time, and then another object following it for a certain length of time. Now, to say that, I got to say it in a different way because that'll confuse you. The whole point of it is the spinning we do. Supposed spinning we do. I got to say it literally. Supposed spinning we do does not it does not account for what we see. How we spin, we don't. We see things spin above us. And these things spin above us at a measurable and calculated speed and rate. Now, for to say that these things constantly happen the same way, yes, that is the problem. Because the movements we do, you can sit there, you can do these movements, and you will not see the same thing above you. How can we do these movements and these objects are the same above us? Um, to get into that, I have to give you the model of the sun and the moon on a flat earth. And basically is you think of a fan. Of course, the middle of the fan is magnetic north. The the blades are the consonants that spread out. The sun, the sun's our summertime is when the sun is closest in the middle in the spins. When it gets to the solstice, that's when it gets to the middle point and it goes further out and it goes to the southern hemisphere. Now they get their summertime. It's our winter time. And it gets smaller, smaller, and get back again. That's the the model that it shows. How you get eclipse. The sun and the moon as an elliptic orbit doesn't have an exact line. It goes in and it comes out. It goes in and it comes out. It's not a perfect circle. It's not. That's why sometimes the moon looks so close and other times the moon looks so far. On a flat Earth map, only difference is it rises and it falls. It rises and it falls. It gives you the same thing. It gives you the same seasons. It gives you the same everything. The biggest thing was this eclipse. When I looked at the eclipse, um, it came in a little piece on the top, and the more and more it came in, it moved around, and it moved all the way around, and it came in, and then it stopped, and it came out. This is my this is how I'm seeing it from LA. It had a little bit of dim out here. It never got dark. You know, it never was that crazy like you see. You know, you have to have what are you? I had these 3D glasses from the movies, and I seen it. So there's a lot of things that we can say does happen, but how it happens, the rotation it happens, that's what's questioned because it can't be proven. There's nothing that it ever sent out there that came back that showed this. There's nothing that ever, nothing. Um, let's say they are throwing things out there. They're not pictures. You know, there are ones and zeros. There are computer. I can't even think of something to say. They're not a picture. You know, they're infrared this. They're a beam this. They're they're not an image like you'll take with a digital camera. It's the same with the Earth. So when you think you're looking at the Earth, you're looking at the best representation they can give you of the Earth. You're not looking at a picture of the Earth. You can Google that photograph. Literally, you have to say photograph of the Earth. It's gonna show you shit from '72, and you're not gonna see the Earth. You're gonna see some little shit from a distance, this turn. It's some bullshit. Um, Ask me something. 'Cause I feel myself rambling.
Oh, um,
Heart.
the the thing. Hold on, make sure my volume. The thing that we but we know that everything happens and lines on up ahead of time. The star, the sun, we know all of this because it causes us our season. We know this because it determines how many hours
It's in
of
that, yeah.
sunlight we're gonna have. Yeah, like like in the winter it's less sun and more dark and all of that, or vice versa. With the seasons.
Hmm.
That this doesn't never change because I thought it was because it was so humongous. The earth, the whatever this. Since we both don't know what it is, I'll just say this rock or landmass that we
I
on
know
that they
problem with
call
saying
Earth.
Earth and or planet. We know what we're talking
But
about.
but my main thing is everybody says okay when I say, well, how do you see the other planets on out there? Are they flat? And their response be no, they're round. And then my response be, so in the whole universe we're the only flat planet running around?
When I hear things like that, I think of, well, can I fall off the edge? It's funny to say that we're flat and everything else is round.
Right, that
Um,
same thing I'm saying. But
if
this
we're
is what a
looking at
flat earther told me.
if we're looking at something from a distance, as we're looking at as these distant objects, you're only looking at it on a 2D dimension. You're not looking at it on a third dimension. You only That's like if you're looking at a ball from if this ball is so far away and you can see it, all you're gonna see is this outside. This, all you're gonna see is the outside. You're not gonna see this because this can be pushed all the way in. But when you see it from a distance, you're going to think it's a full ball. So to say that the object out there is flat, you can't tell from a distance a flat object from a ball. All you're going to see is this outer curve. You're not going to see this front part, that curved part. So that's another argument that's it's like an ice wall thing. It's like you're giving us something that you can't really. But the crazy thing is, no one has ever took a picture of a other planet in space. You can't see them. As soon as you get out in, our lower orbit, you don't see nothing. You don't see a damn thing. You don't see the moon. So I don't see how you can say it's flat or it's round or it's a solid object or anything if only thing you can see is when you're on Earth. It's like when all these things when I'm saying
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I got
yeah,
to
I
put
was
the
about to say
brakes
that all
on.
again.
I got to put the brakes on. Only because I understand what you're saying when you say that from when you see it, it's flat. But we know that we moving, it's moving, everything is moving. That means,
Flat Earthers said we don't move.
okay, well, everything else is moving. That
Yeah,
means,
we'll
well,
go,
all right, we'll use theirs.
but
Since everything else is moving, when you looking at something in the summertime and you look back at that same object out there in space at wintertime, you are seeing that same object at a different angle. You ain't no longer looking at the front of it. That's what help determines it's round and not flat.
how do you know that? If the moon doesn't spin on its axis, how you know these things are spinning on its axis? They're so far away. How do you know they're spinning? You just see an object. You just see a shape. It take NASA to show some CGI shit to show you it's spinning. But what stopped the moon from spinning then? Why the moon don't spin on its axis? Why is it fixed to us, just circling us? So in space, the moon is the only thing that's not moving on its axis. How is that? It's a whole when I realized the space shuttle never went to the moon. When I realized when you get into a certain spot in the atmosphere, you don't see shit no more. That's all that's over with. When I realized when you're in the International Space Station, you cannot turn and see the moon. It's too far away. Um, Me dealing with propulsion and rockets, I call this just wanting to know because they came out a couple months ago and said the moon, mean the moon. They came out a couple months ago and said the sun is bigger than what they thought it was. This is not a joke.
Well, at
And I
least they
know.
ain't say it was flat.
Hey, he was solid with that. All right, don't roll the blood on that. Hey, and hey, oh, hey. You fucked me up with that one. You fucked my whole mindset with that one. He was solid. Is this, let me see. Oh, that's another. Oh, that's somebody. How would I do that though? Fuck it. I
What,
don't got.
you need me to share it or something?
Oh, no, it was one of the things that didn't send. Okay, one of the notifications that I sent, it didn't send because it had Hangout. Then it was just telling me the Hangout that I sent didn't go through on Facebook. That's what that was. Yeah. So to me, when they said that, that means that not now. If it's bigger, that means it's farther than what they thought it was too. It cannot be just one. It has to be both. And here's another thing. There are certain are axes, 23.5 degrees. Every so often there's a big earthquake. You can look this up. Japan. It shifts our axis. So we're not at that same angle no more. To do that, they supposed to recalculate damn near every fucking thing.
Oh, ho. You trying to say an earthquake is changing the whole planet and the universe axis that it's been rotating on?
You can look that up. Japan earthquake. Is it you?
You're not sending me to NASA, are you?
No, you could. You well, then you have to go. Everything you have to. It's like you could. I don't know how to say.
But
Yukushima.
everybody say NASA is fake. That's what flat earthers say. So how are you going to use something that they saying is fake and you're a flat earther?
You have to have a common ground. I did with science, and if everything is fake, how you gonna have a conversation? It's
I'm
just
just
like
going by what flat earthers say.
I know what you mean. I feel that, and a lot of times I see myself in those, and I just be quiet. I just let them, because that's what we use. We're using
But
everything. If
but
if it's
but they
not,
but they
go ahead.
periodically choose and pick what they decide is fake and what is not. I noticed that. Then I said, where you get this from? Oh, NASA. Well, I thought we couldn't use NASA. Well, this then they come up with some big long spiel. It's certain things that's okay to use. I find it. Either you're gonna use it or you're not. You can't be dibbling and dabbing for convenience.
We have to. This is why.
Oh,
Outside
all right.
Pythagoras, Plato, and all
Oh
these
yeah, them guys.
Newton,
Did you
after
see?
Einstein, they the ones that did the math.
Right. Did you see
After that,
Team Osiris video?
say it again?
Did you see Team Osiris video?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's on my page. Well, not on my page, because I didn't want to get flagged or anything. So what I did was I just made like a minute or a minute and a half video, and in the description is the link
Okay.
where it says Team Osiris debunks the. That's why I had put it on up there so you can watch it, because they rarely talk about flat Earth. Every blue moon they'll talk about it, but they did a good job about debunking it, and they said the same thing that I said, that there is no scientific proof and that they use nothing but theory. You guys.
To give you an alternative, is a theory instead of just questioning and showing you why or how it needs to be questioned. The whole relativity is a theory. It can't be proven. So, and that's like saying you can't use NASA, and then it's like you need a common ground.
So
But
you one of them guys that say
I believe in the
gra-
Big Bang.
gra-
I'm not.
no, you got a bunch of you guys that say gravity don't exist. You just fall because you're dense weight.
It's more to that. Um, a lot of people say force. Gravity is not considered a force in a way, but we say the force that make the object fall. That has never been proven or shown. So that's why we say gravity is a theory. It's a beautiful concept. Things are more explained with density and buoyancy and magnetism because you throw magnetism into gravity, but you can't prove the outside gravity. And they have things like the Cavalier experiment where the two lead balls be attracted to each other. But that it's a lot to this when we it's not as easy to talk, how we because you've got to talk about names, times, experiments, what these experiments mean, what they represent, and that's when the theory of relativity comes in, where it shows how these big objects are taking space in space,
Oh, excuse me. I
and an
think I got
object will be locked to that object. How I say it, because they do it like this. You'll be the cover, and it'll be a ball in the cover, and its rim, that's where the moon will be at. Because if it's flat, the moon will be in its own ball. So since the Earth is so big and it covers that area and makes it into that ball, where the moon is, it hovers right on the outside of that. That's the best I can give it to you. Which cannot be proven. And that's my arguments. Now, when you get into going to the moon, it's propulsion. Rockets don't work in space because it's a vacuum. There is no oxygen, so can no fire be in space? For me to do this, there's two things happening. There's the liquid inside and the oxygen outside. We're in an oxygen-rich environment. That's the only reason why it stay lit. It's the fuel and then what you eat, the oxygen. That's why a fire is up. Now, in space, there is no oxygen. It's a big vacuum. Think of your vacuum cleaner. To stop that vacuum cleaner suction is the vacuum has to be full. So when you see those movies when the door open and everything shoot out in space, yeah. So if a rocket goes off, that same principle is supposed to happen. Everything's supposed to be sucked out that goddamn rocket. So how's that rocket gonna give any type of propulsion, and how any fire is gonna happen if there is no oxygen? Now they will say we take the oxygen in. Yeah, just like this. Just the fuel. But once it's been sucked from that suction, how is it gonna stay lit? It's impossible to stay lit. Furthermore, you're not even using the fire or the rocket when you get into space. You're using the trajectory you did when you came out of the Earth. So to say that you came out of the Earth and now you're using a rocket to get you faster and faster and faster, no, it doesn't work like that. That's movie shit. You're gonna go at that same exact speed once you left the Earth. Now,
But
according
how do
to
we know this, though? This is my whole point. How do we know this?
because this is what mainstream science would tell you.
According to everybody else, they never left out of this, what you call it, atmosphere. They never made it to space. So they can't tell us something they ain't never been to.
Space and outer space,
Yeah,
two
outer
different things.
space. I mean, yeah, outer space, like past us, deep out there, you know?
Yeah, I don't believe we went out there. Yeah. Now this is why. Now, I gave you. You have to. Things have to keep going in your head. We're
Oh, that little
traveling.
example you was talking about is for this little area we're in right now. It ain't for outer space, because you agree we ain't never went there, right?
Uh huh.
Oh, okay.
Like the International Space Station. I don't believe that shit is up there. That shit's not 17. That shit is not spinning 17,000 miles an hour. And it means it goes across the Earth 16 times a day at 80 minutes. 1.5 times 16 is 24 hours. So it's like they give you when you look at the International Space Station and you're looking at the picture and you see the curved Earth, the little thing next to it, that motherfucker curved too. It's like everything they give you The clouds. It's so crazy that you're so high and you don't see the clouds morph. Um, it gets to the point where you just see big full things just moving across, just moving across. But you know when you're looking at down, you're down looking up, you see that shit moving different. You see it morph, you see it climbing together. But all of a sudden, it doesn't do that. Sometimes you look on the International Space Station live feed, there ain't a motherfucking cloud in a goddamn continent. There's storms, um, there's fog, hail, rain, lightning storms over any given place on any continent at any given time. There's one of those things. And to see that there's not a cloud in the sky over thousands and thousands of square miles, it's ridiculous. You know, it's the funniest shit in the world. But it looks so beautiful at night. You get to see all the lights and shit. Ain't no motherfucking way you're gonna see all the lights. Now, if you go across Los Angeles, ain't no clouds. Yeah, 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 yeah. But once you get into the mountains, it's gonna be clouds. That's pressure systems and shit. And to sit there and just see just land and lights, that shit ain't real. It's not. And it's funny because growing up, that's what you know. And it just gets to the point where when you look at a movie and you look at TV and you look outside, if you don't know the difference between what you're really looking at and when somebody is presenting some bullshit to you, I don't know what to tell you because it's the craziest shit in the world how they have these earth pictures where all the different colors, the continents is two different sizes, and then we're talking about pictures that supposedly was what one was '07 and one was 2012. One of them, the whole America was the whole top side of the globe, and it's like, which one is right then? Which one is? Why is it like that? It just get to the point that certain arguments in flat Earth do be bullshit, and at times it gets to be semantics and people just calling people stupid and there's no real understanding of what we're talking about. People be trying to get you in I caught your souls or I got you. Like I said in the beginning, none of us are rocket scientists. None of us are astronauts. What we're doing is giving an understanding of what our research tells us. And most people, they don't do research. They just talk shit. They just say you stupid, you never went to school, go to the beach, like just weird shit. I've been in the plane. Your eyes is not gonna see a curve at 30,000 feet. Your eyes can't see the distance and can't zoom in and they can't what's the other one? You're not gonna be able to see it. Your eyes is not a telescope. You're not gonna see it. You're looking at a fisheye lens on the and the reason why they have fisheye lens in planes because if they didn't, you'll be looking directly out straight where you're looking at. A fisheye lens opens that and lets you look over so you can see the ground, so you can see all the land. If they did have a fisheye lens, you'd be looking at a direct hole, looking straight outside. So for somebody to say, I see a curve every time I'm on a plane. You're looking at a fisheye lens, and if it was straight, your eyes can detect the curve, just like you can't detect 72 inches at the beach. So it's like if you don't do the real research on what you can actually see, you will say anything. You will say it with so much confidence, and you be looking like an idiot because that's impossible. There's some people that get on them panels and talk about they be seeing the International Space Station from the ground. Like, how the fuck can you see something the size of a football field 300 miles up? There's people talking about, I see satellites. Satellites are the size of a school bus, and they're past the International Space Station. The International Space Station is hovering directly over the Earth, and the satellites are past that, so they won't run into each other. So to say you see these things just to argue they're up there is preposterous. It's past idiotic. You just want to be on. I don't know, but I try not to give you what I say is not there. I don't know what's there. It's proven by their data they don't know what's there, and some of the math they give you is perception math. You have to be on something and seeing something out that you not really. Globe, the sky is curved to our vision. When you look up at night, you see that. You see that. When you're seeing an object from a distance, it looks like of course it's not your level, certain to your level, and then when it gets to you, it gets higher and higher and higher and higher. And then when it gets up, you fall, fall, fall. Just like your vision, when you're looking down the street and you're seeing all the light poles, they're gonna drop. All those light poles are gonna drop down, and you're gonna see them meet. It's a perception thing. And when you're looking in the stars, you're looking at to your to your vision a curve. So when it goes over, it's like it's curving over you. That's perception. Um, Let me think of one good solid one thing to say. When you're thinking about the sun, when you're looking at the sun rays, it should not. The sun is so far. You shouldn't see certain things, certain shadows. You just shouldn't see them at the angles that they are. That's my biggest point. The angles at these shadows you shouldn't see because the sun's supposed to be so far. When you look at corpuscular rays, which is the sun rays going through a cloud, it spreads out. Anywhere in the light on this planet, when you see that, you go right to that, and that's the light. So when you're at a beach, when you're in some clouds, and that light comes to you, you're the only person, the people in that area is getting that light in the whole fucking world. You're the only people getting that. Why is that? Because the motherfucker's just right there. It's not that fucking far away. Now, yeah, I could sound crazy. I don't give a fuck. But the early people who gave you the figures of the earth said that shit. And all the maps said that shit. Didn't start this shit probably until really Einstein really kind of like finished it off. And Einstein is World War II. So when we're arguing this how we move in space, that's new, that's brand new. The shape of the earth isn't new. So when we talk about flat earth, the newest thing is how we move in space. That's my arguments. It just seems so weird to me. The shape of the earth came after that. I didn't come on talking about, we're not a globe and we start going to all different things. I had my own mindset, had my own everything. And when I seen flat earth, it took me 2.5 years to understand half the shit they talking about. And once I realized what they was talking about, that's why I came on to start talking with them because now I understand their motto enough to confidently argue certain things. And that's really how I got to it. Like I say, the newest thing is how we move in space. That's what we just got a grasp of. And the shape of the earth, the size of the earth, it's it's not exact. Yeah, it would tell you we're shaped like a pear. Then other people would tell you, well, you know what, we're shaped an inch from a mile square, a perfect circle. Then other people would tell you we're shaped like an oblique sphere, meaning the center is wider than everything else. It's not that perfect. It gets wider in the center. So which one is it? It has to be one of them. And we're being taught all three at the same time in school today. So I don't see how I'm so crazy and we're being taught three different models at the same time. How do how do they spin then? What is the it doesn't make any sense. So for me, and I'm not even gonna lie, after all the shit with Brother Sanchez and Dredd, it took a lot out of me. I have no problem with talking to the family about this shit. But it took a lot of drive out of me because a lot of them I don't believe in that shit. I argue the shape of the earth in the theory of relativity. You know, basically how we tell time. So it's kind of crazy. Um, Dredd had sent me a invite, but I was at work, and it's like the last time I talked, I told him that we really talked like send me when it's 8 inches per mile. When we arguing fat Earth, send me the link. I don't know why it's just constantly a constant community bash. So it's like it's a conflict of interest. I thought they understood, like, we can come together. We was unified for 6 months, me and Dredd. Constant community, all of them. We was unified. How are you talking about? We all together under one banner. Met Brother Sanchez, and Brother Sanchez just broke all that shit up. So, you know, I don't believe in all that shit they believe in. I don't believe there's other continents. I don't believe in the ice wall like that. I don't believe in infinite plane, meaning there is no end to the earth. I don't believe in the firmament. So if it's an infinite plane and then the firmament infinite, like which one is it? It's like I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't know. Like I said, I come on YouTube because I feel like it's people that are smarter than me that can aid me in my thought process. That's it. I don't come here teaching anything. I don't. I ask questions. And in the middle of it, I get asked questions. And a lot of times in the debates, they don't like that I know the answer or I can answer it more than one way. Um, and that's really like, what it comes down to. Can somebody answer certain questions that scientists won't answer? Because a lot of these things could be been answered. Could have been answered. People could have been went on and understood this and this and that, but they're not. So here we are today. Still there, brother? Well, I'm still online. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to bring somebody else in. I'm gonna see how I do this.